I'm one of those type of people that can't really hide what I feel and what I think a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? A very, 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 very bad liar. Very bad liar. Rita, who's sitting right there behind me, deploys a strategy. She's laughing because she knows it's true. It doesn't work all the time, but sometimes I give in, but she deploys a strategy where she thinks it's kind of like a poker player. She thinks that I have tails, right? So if she asks me a question, she'll look at me before she asks a follow-up question, or she'll sit there and try to act like she's consuming what I'm saying, but she's asking a question. That's why she's laughing. But she's really asking a question, and it's rhetorical, but she's trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to be completely honest with her. Yep. And so there's like 3 things that she looks for when she asks me a question. Now, I know what they are. I know what those things are. I know what they are. I know what she's looking for. And the minute that I break, she'll just say, I knew you was lying. I knew you was lying about that. Why don't you just be for real? Why don't you be for real? But it's not that I'm lying. I'm not lying. I'm telling, why are you looking over here? I'm not lying. You're missing the context. And just because, and I'm missing the context. And then when I because I'll answer the question.
No, wait, you said it right. You said you're missing the context.
No, you're missing the context.
You said it right, though. You're missing the context. Is what you meant to say. Yep, go ahead.
What she doesn't know is maybe I'm doing this thing, this tell, to throw her off my scent. Maybe, first of all, maybe I want her to think a certain thing, or I know that she's already looking for a certain answer, and so I reverse psychology her. That's number 1. She never considered that one. Number 2, she don't understand the context. So I'm the type of person that likes to answer the question and then add the context. She'll say, hey, you went shopping today? Or you spent $10,000, you bought a new car? That was the last thing she asked me. She said, you bought a new car? I'd be like, not really. And then I was, did not really buying a new car?
Yeah.
The context is that I didn't complete the transaction yet, but I went to look at the new car. So then I'll show up with a new car. 3 days later, I'll get a car delivered 3 days later. Then I purchase the new car. Then I purchased the new car. So no, I didn't buy a new car. Let me add the context, but she'll start laughing and be like, oh, I knew you was lying. I knew you was lying. No, the context is, no, I didn't buy a new car. I considered it. I'm still thinking about it. And I'm weighing my options to try to figure out if this is what I want to do. But see, she'll already be laughing and all of that. And then a car will show up 3 days later. I knew you would. No, I'm not lying. At that time, I did not buy a new car. But if you was listening, if you had your listening ears on, you would understand it. So the money wasn't missing out of the account. I went and put it in a duffel bag just in case I wanted to pay cash. Anyways, the point is, and the reason why I'm having this conversation with you guys, is this not the best is this not the best morning show on earth? This is the best morning show on earth. The point that I'm trying to tell you guys is that when you see me put my glasses down or whatever like that, those are tells. That's what we call in the poker world tells. And I can't help myself. I can't hide what I really believe. And so sometimes I get frustrated. And communication is more than just what you say. It's also the body language. You know what I'm saying? I could tell if somebody is confident. I could tell if they're not confident. I could tell if somebody is fearful. Public speaking. All of those things, you pay attention to the person. You don't always necessarily have to pay attention to what they say. So when we look at this video that's coming up right now, CNN For some reason, they all think that the barbershop is where the black people only congregate. So they only go to the barbershop. Kamala Harris go to the barbershop. CNN go to the barbershop. Don Lemon go to the barbershop. Fox News go to the barbershop. Everybody want to go to the barbershop. So now they go to the barbershop, and I'm going to admit, I'm going to tell you the truth. I watched maybe 45 seconds of this, and I said, okay, this is going to be a good clip for me to use on the Millionaire Morning Show. But they're going to talk to black people in an area that historically voted 84%, almost 85% for Biden, to get their take on who they're voting for president and why, and what they think about Kamala Harris. Check it out.
This is probably the hardest election decision I've ever had to make, because I'm basing it off of not my personal self, but my core belief of who Trump is inside is what's driving me towards Kamala.
This is Clayton County, Georgia, just south of Atlanta, where more than 84% of voters picked Biden in 2020. That makes Clayton the most Democratic county.
Wait. Clayton County where? Give me a second. Let me rewind that.
This is Clayton County, Georgia, just
Clayton County, Georgia,
south of Atlanta, where more than 84% of voters picked Biden in 2020. That makes Clayton the most Democratic county in all this year's swing states.
2020, when Biden won, it was Clayton County who turned Georgia blue and got Biden the presidency.
How so?
So maybe we should blame Clayton County for the endless wars. Maybe we should blame Clayton County for the inflation. Clayton County, since y'all are the ones that wanted to turn it blue, maybe we should blame y'all for the migrant crisis that we've experienced here in the United States of America. Because see, y'all want to claim yourselves and say, oh man, it's Clayton County that turned Georgia blue. So it's y'all that caused all of this mass confusion.
Our people turned out. Clayton County turns out. We expect the same for Kamala Harris.
Almost 300,000 people live here, and nearly 70% are black.
And it's the hood.
Campaigns are fighting hard for these voters. Kamala Harris was just here with Stevie Wonder. We spoke to people at black-owned businesses about what they were thinking.
I'm sorry, I don't trust no man that's trying to convince me and he can't even see who he's talking about. I love Stevie. I love his music, but I'm not interested in hearing and listening to Stevie's campaigning and he don't even know what he's looking at. You think Stevie can see? I think he can see.
Thinking in the last weeks before the election.
I'm really not into politics, but Kamala Harris, her movement, I will say I support two things that she.
So Shy Richardson, or Shy Richardson, is a young black man he's a barber in Clayton County, and he's about to explain to us, this is where I stopped it. I said, okay, this is going to be a good one. He's going to explain to us why he's not voting for Kamala Harris.
She said and is doing. The $20,000 loan thing for the black entrepreneurs, I really like that because it gives us a chance to, get our businesses up off the ground. And another thing is she's trying to legalize marijuana. Because, a lot of us get locked up just for our cars smelling like weed. It's a lot of synthetic weed.
I am not surprised, not disappointed, but I almost forgot where I came from. Almost forgot what the heck is happening in the community. If he would have said anything other than marijuana, I would have been like, okay, I can hear him out. This dude basically threw the whole black race and black men under the bus by saying that the two reasons is a loan. We love us some scamming. We love us some PPP loans. And marijuana, legalizing on a federal level marijuana. Jesus Christ. We don't need much. We don't need much at all. And then they wonder why people be looking at us and be like, nah, I'm not going to rent to you. I'm not going to rent to you. When y'all do y'all applications for renters, for people to rent y'all property, ask them 2 questions. Who they voting for and why? Do they agree with the legalization on the federal level of marijuana, and does it matter to them? You'll be able to vet people out more effectively. Good God almighty. I just couldn't believe it. I can't believe it.
Chance to, get our businesses up off the ground. And another thing is she's trying to legalize marijuana. A lot of us get locked up just for our cars smelling like weed. It's a lot of synthetic weed out here, a lot of fake weed that's, bad for us.
You want it to be legalized?
Weed. And CNN is airing this, and then you expect for other cultures to respect you and say, yeah, man, we should listen to what their concerns are. We got all of these educated people, black people, white people, Asians, Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, whatever you want to pick. And they had to say the one thing that we don't need that keep us lethargic: the legalization of marijuana. Let's hear some more.
And regulated.
Yes, and what gets me the most is it's banned in the South, where it's mostly African Americans or black people down here. But up in the other states, the Union states, the blue states, whatever you want to call them, it's legalized.
Well, who would you vote for if you do decide to vote?
I don't know, maybe Harris.
And why?
Just listening to some of the stuff that she's said so far as like helping people. I'm big on helping.
So why would you be undecided?
Lord, our people perish. Lord, oh Lord.
Decided right now then?
I would have to say, because this will be my first time.
Yeah.
First time, like, woo, okay. My mom, none of them, they've never done it, so.
We found a little more ambivalence about Harris than we expected based on past voting here.
I'm indecisive. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
That's okay. Tell me more. Why?
Because it's 2 of the lesser evils. They're all bashing each other and saying this and saying that. Then I take that and I go do research. And when I research it, I'm like, but I do know one thing. Trump is so bold that if the aliens is coming, he gonna tell you.
So in an Independence Day scenario,
yes,
he would tell you to evacuate.
He would tell. So I mean, he can't keep his mouth shut.
What are your constituents saying about the election?
You get a mixed bag of peanuts. You get a lot of people that say, go Kamala. You get a lot of people say, I'm not into politics. And then you even have voices say that I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Early voting numbers were really high. Woo. What do you think that means?
I think that means people have something to vote for. I think that people are impassioned, emboldened. They're excited to vote for something. I'm just hoping they're voting for Kamala Harris, honestly.
We are house divided.
Really?
At this time, my husband, he's more leaning towards the Trump side, and I'm leaning more towards the Harris side, but I'm still trying to persuade him to come to the other side.
Bless you. Are we a house divided, Rita? So you said, We ain't no house divided, are we? We on the same page, 100% of the time. What you mean you're a house divided? Only time I can expect for somebody to be a house divided if the spouse went to state and the other one went to. One of them is a Michigan Wolverine and the other one is a Michigan State Spartan. Michigan versus Michigan State. Ohio State versus Michigan. Something like that. That's the only time that we need to be a house divided. What? Come on, man. And then she threw the cherry on top and she said, and I'm trying to convince him to vote for Kamala Harris, not the other way around. Where have we gone wrong in this community?
And what is his objections?
Well, he just doesn't feel that like a woman is fit for the job, so to speak.
What you getting, 10 fade? And then we bringing the top down? I'm gonna be honest with you. During his time in presidency, a lot of money was flowing around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my reason for being like, hey, if you're gonna do that again, you know, you run that back.
Finally, somebody that at the very least got a little bit of sense. Finally, with somebody that's just got he said, hey man, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. My pockets was fat at the time that he was in. And so if you're gonna do it again, let's run it back. Let's bring it back from the bottom of the map. We bring it back from the bottom of the map. He said, we don't want to go forward. We want to make America great again. Homie said, I want to make America great again. Hey, man, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate to say it in front of the people because I know they're going to call me a sellout, but there was a lot of money that was flowing through here. If we're going to do that again, then we need to run that back again because I know I was tricking it off on the first time, but this time I'm going to stack it, I'm going to invest it. Let's run it back. We messed up, but we're going to run it back. What else is there to talk about? What else is there to vote for? What else is there to talk about? Hey, man, the money was flowing. Let's get back to the money. Forget all of this extra junk y'all got going on. I don't even care about that. When the money messed up, the money mad, I'm mad.
And then we bringing the top down. I'm gonna be honest with you. During his time in presidency, a lot of money was flowing around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my reason for being like, hey, if you're gonna do that again, you know, you run that back. He does a lot of stuff for shock value, just to get you to look at him. You know what I mean? So I don't really be taking none of that stuff serious. I'm gonna take my time with it.
We know how you
know. It's like the lesser of the two evils type of thing.
You know how you
One topic of conversation has been the idea that some men don't want to vote for a woman president. Do you think that's a factor?
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, homie, push his head back hard. Focus, man.
Do you think that's a factor?
I hear that a lot.
Yeah. What do they say?
Women are too emotional to run the country.
And what do you think of that?
What do I think of that? I'm married. You think I'm about to answer that?
But what do you say to them?
What do I say to him?
Yeah, when they say.
Hey, why he keep restating the question every time she asks him? What do you say to that? What do I say to that? What do you do to it? What do you do to it? Nigga, you heard what we said the first time.
Emotional to run the country.
And what do you think of that?
What do I think of that?
What do I think of that? Let me fast forward.
But what do you say to him?
What do I say to him?
Yeah. What do I say to him? When you say that, you buying time to try to figure out what your answer is. Yada Awakening was doing that when we was debating. It's like, so what do you think about what Anton said? What do I think about Anton said? I said, look at me, King.
Yeah, when they say that.
I tell them the same thing I told you. I'm married, so, and my wife run my household. So, you know what? If they run the household like that, they could.
I can't do it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Yo, it's over for the community. It's over for the community. It is over. It's over. This man said, my wife run my household. You know what? Yeah, they can run the country. It's over, y'all. It's over. Gosh. You give your whole paycheck to her too, dog?
I believe they can do it. I just thought about it. I believe a woman could run the presidency. I believe that.
I've never seen a president tweet so much out of emotions. So to say a female cannot...
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. What we not gonna do... Let me get this off my screen. Oh my God, I love this show. This is the greatest show on the face of the earth. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know. Look like the pronouns was probably they, them.